Well, I'm just coming down from Blood Mountain. Pretty good night, quiet. Got some good rest. And I was able to get enough sunlight to dry my boots out, my insoles, my socks, my clothes. So I was able to put dry clothes on for the first morning since I've been on the trail. This is day 4. So that was a really good feeling. The views from Blood Mountain, I think, are best first thing in the morning. A lot of the views are opposite from the sunrise. So with the sun rising up over the mountain, shining its light on all of those hills, makes for beautiful, beautiful photos. And there are quite a bit of places to take pictures on the north side of the mountain as you're going down towards Neal Gap. So if you ever go up there and you're planning on hiking from Woody Gap and then going back, make sure you hike a little ways down the north side and check out some of the view spots down there. It's not very far. Definitely very rocky, very steep going downhill. That's why I'm not really looking at the camera. Hopefully I'm in frame. Gotta really watch your footing going down here. So I left a little bit earlier than I was expecting. I've not really been leaving until almost 9 o'clock. Since I've been on the trail, maybe 8:30, 9 o'clock. And I left at 8 this morning. So I'm not really in a hurry. I don't think Mountain Crossings opens until 9. I'll have to check. And I can easily get there before 9, the 2-mile hike downhill. So I might just have a rest when I get there and wait for them to open so I can get my food supply and continue on my way. I think I'm going to, I don't remember the shelter I'm going to today. It's a 10-mile day. So I got 10 miles today. This will be the shortest day of my trip. And I am looking forward to a short day. It should be relatively easy. I do have to cross over 3 mountains. But a lot of spider webs this morning. I have to cross over 3 mountains, but they don't look like they're too bad. This section of trail is so rocky. It's hard to even tell where the trail is sometimes. In this case, oh, there's a blaze. It goes down, not up. Sometimes you gotta find the blaze on a tree. Sometimes you gotta find it on a rock. Like that. Very steep. Ah, some stairs are nice. That makes things easier. Well, I'm about 5 miles down the trail for today, which is about halfway from my original plan. But it looks like I may not be able to get picked up until later in the day on Wednesday if I break my 5th day up into 2 days and go home on the 6th day. Now I was planning on, if that was the case, I was planning on trying to get picked up Wednesday morning so I can be back by around lunchtime. But that's not going to work out. So I may try to push on today to, let's see, I think it would come to close to another 13 miles today, which would leave me with about 10 or 11 miles the next day. So I'm making good time so far. I've got a couple more mountains to go over. Actually, I think if I push on, that would give me 2 extra mountains, which leaves me a total of 5 more remaining today. So it's not necessarily going to be an easy day, but I'm doing good so far. Makes a big difference having dry feet, so my pace has been pretty good. I've been on the trail for nearly 2.5 hours, a little over 5 miles, and I did stop at mountain crossings for 15 or 20 minutes to get my resupply and pick through the hiker boxes there, fill up on water, empty my trash. So I'm still keeping just about a 2.5 mile an hour pace uphill and downhill, and my downhill has been actually a little bit slower, I think, than my uphill because it's been so steep and rocky. So with that pace and dry feet, I should have no problem getting to the Low Gap shelter and bypassing the Whitley Gap shelter, which is good because Whitley Gap, the Whitley Gap shelter is like 1.25 miles off trail to get to that shelter, which is 2.5 miles total added to my trip in and out. So that'll actually save me some mileage in the long run. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. Not really been much to see on this section of trail. I'm just walking through the woods, basically uphill and downhill. Some rocky stuff here and there, but it's mostly this, just kind of weed type stuff growing up. Some briars here and there. The trail's a lot more narrow here than it has been between Amicalola Falls and Neal Gap. It probably just gets a lot less traffic. It's really popular, that section between Amicalola and Neal. So there's not really a whole lot to film. I'm just kind of plugging along, making good time. So whenever I get a good view, I'll take some photos and put those up, but this is basically it. Well, I passed the Whitley Gap shelter turnoff probably about 3 or 4 miles back. I don't know, 3.5 miles back. Anyway, I'm continuing on to Low Gap Shelter. Kind of feel like I'm just plodding along at this point. I'm somewhere around 12 miles for the day right now. I'm feeling okay. I mean, my feet are definitely starting to get tired. My legs feel fine. I've only had to stop to refill water once because I carried so much down. No, that's not true. I carried a decent amount down from Neal Gap or from Blood Mountain, then I filled up at Neal Gap at Mountain Crossings. So that's 2 stops for water. That's about right. Man, a lot of sun behind me. It's a warm day, so that's nice. Could use a little more breeze. That would make it even better. But my stuff will dry out nice when I get to the shelter, as long as there's not too much shade. So I'm doing some rolling hills right now. I just came down off of one. I'm about to go up another. This will be the 3rd in this section. And once I go down off of that 3rd hill, it'll be the last climb over a mountain. I forgot the name of the mountain. Before I head down into Low Gap, where I will shelter for the night.